welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing a tag video. I am going to be doing the perfect palette tag. And I wasn't really tagged by anyone, but a lot of you guys have been requesting me to do this video. I think it's so, like cool to name some of your favorite palettes and some of your least favorite palettes as well, and then just basically give you the idea about which palettes I love and so on. So without further ado, let's get into the questions. It sounded like I was in a struggle, but I'm not. Let's go. The first question is best packaging, and I wasn't doubting this one for a second. It is, of course, my Urban Decay Artsy Great and Powerful palettes. These palettes obviously came out when the movie came out, you know, the one with Mila Kunis and James Franco, a really nice movie. But yeah, I just love these two. As you can see, I've still got them like in the totally original packaging because I'm like, they're my babies. But let me just show you them because they are so beautiful. The Theodora palette looks like this. It is the green one. It looks so cool. I just love the entire packaging, and the inside is even prettier. Seriously, I love it so much. I love the colors. I think they're fierce. And the thing with all of the Urban Decay eyeshadows is that they're so freaking highly pigmented, so it's an amazing palette. And here's a Glinda palette, which is much more girly and feminine, and just, yeah, the colors in here are also very much more, I would say much more wearable than the Theodora palette. The Theodora palette is much more fierce and, you know, with green colors, whereas this is much more wearable and versatile when it comes to like everyday looks, but you can also do some smoky eyes and so on with it. And I really truly love these palettes. I think they're gorgeous. I just love how they look, and they're still very steady. I just think they're incredible. They were limited edition ones, and I'm just so happy that I've got both of them. They are my babies. I take really good care of them and just save them because I've got some really like strong feelings about these two. The next question is best color payoff. Once again, I was not doubting this at all. Obviously, the Lorac Pro palettes. They are incredible in pigmentation. You won't even believe it. You barely have to touch the colors and you've got pigmentation and stuff all over your fingers. Seriously, it is insane. And the thing is, they've got almost no fallout either. When you apply them, they're so like buttery. I love both of the palettes, and that's also why I show you both of them. But they've got amazing colors, both mattes and shimmers. And this is the Lorac Pro, the original one. But I also want to show you the Lorac Pro #2 palette. I love this one as well. Also some mattes and shimmers and so on. There's some different kinds of colors, and that's why I love them. But they are all creamy, pigmented, lovely. They are so easy to work with. I've never tried any eyeshadows like the Lorac ones, and they are just my go-to eyeshadows when I like want a really fierce, in-your-face, intense eyeshadow look. The next question is the most versatile palette, and I actually struggled with finding a palette to go for with this one because I'm like, well, I could go for my customized matte palette because I made it myself, so obviously I've picked all of the colors and all of the kind of finishes so I can do some different looks, but I think it's kind of cheating because it's not really a pre-made palette. I've actually made it myself, so I don't really think that that counts. Instead, I decided to go for my new Stila Eyes of the Window Shadow palette, and this is the one called Mind. And I chose this one because you've got all mattes in here. And I think when it comes to like doing versatile and different eyeshadow looks, you need matte colors. I was thinking about either going for this one or my Naked original palette because that one is also really versatile and it's got a lot of colors in there. But I just miss out on some mattes in there. So therefore I went for this one because you've got some really standard everyday colors that are highlighting colors as well. You've got some more fierce one where you can get some more color, and also some dark ones if you want to do a smoky eye or something like that. There's just so many different things you can do with this palette, and because they're all matte and all very pigmented, it is so easy to build up and do a really cool, fierce, but also standard everyday eyeshadow look. It really depends on what you like and what you want. Next question is best for traveling. Once again, a difficult one, but honestly not that difficult when I think about it. It is my Lorac Pro To Go palette because you get, let me just show you, you get 6 different eyeshadows. First of all, I think that's so smart, and they are very wearable colors. Once again, the pigmentation is still amazing, and yeah, they're just very wearable. You get an ultra matte black as well, so you can do some really like smoky look as well, and there's also some shimmery brownie ones, but also a crease color and some highlighting shades as well. There's just everything that you need for a nice everyday look or evening look. And then on the other side, you get some cheek colors as well. So you get a bronzer and you get 2 different blushes. Seriously, this is just an all-in-one kind of palette. I just think it's so smart, and also it's very small, kind of compact. I just think thinking about that you get so much in a little palette, that is so smart. And I would say if you're fair like me, you can actually use the color down here, Shell, as some kind of like an all-over powder just to set your makeup. So once again, another little thing that you can use it for. Just love it so, so much. Oh, and last thing, you get small eyeshadow brushes with you as well. That is so nice. I just love that. I think it's so well thought out. And now for the next question, we move into those really bummy questions. The question is my biggest regret. And I thought long and hard about this one because once again, I love most of my palettes. I am a palette-aholic. I love my eyeshadow palettes and they're kind of like a collector's thing for me. But I think the palette that I regret the most is the one that I've used the least. And it is unfortunately one from Stila. This is a one called Stila, written in the Stars eyeshadow palette. This was a limited edition one, and I actually fell for the packaging. I found it on Beauty Bay because it was on sale. So even though it wasn't really that expensive, I still regret buying it because I haven't used it at all. Seriously, I think I've used it once, and yeah, the color pigmentation is not really that good. The colors are kind of like, nah, I don't know. I love the packaging. I think it's really cute and so on, but honestly, you almost get no eyeshadow for the money, and the colors are just like very standard and boring, and yeah, they're just not really that good. I mean, I love the packaging, don't get me wrong, I think the packaging is really cute, but the actual eyeshadows and just how much I've used it, it just wasn't worth the money for me. I'm sorry, Stila. Normally I really love Stila's eyeshadows and just everything from Stila, but this is just not my fave. The next question is best color names, and this is one of the really funny questions because I think the thing that makes me most excited about a new palette is actually seeing what the different eyeshadows are called. And whenever I get a palette where there aren't any names on the specific eyeshadows, I'm just like, nah, boo-hoo. I want something, you know, like cool and so on. So just think the names on the eyeshadows are just so important. And the one that's my favorite is the one that actually made me laugh a bit and make me really happy when I see it, and that is obviously my Too Faced Chocolate Bar palette. I really love the colors, and the greatest thing about this palette is that it smells like chocolate. Oh, I'm dying here. Actually, there should be a question in this tag called Best Smelling Palette, because this one would win. Seriously, it smells so good. I'm dying. But the cool thing is that it came with this little thing here where you can see all of the names, and they're called, you know, like all chocolatey names like Gilded Ganache, White Chocolate, Milk Chocolate, Black Forest Truffle. I don't know, I just think the names are so funny and so cool. I just really love that there's such a thought behind every single one of them. I just think it's so cool, and the names just go hand in glove with the colors. I love it. I think it's so well thought out, and it just makes me so happy whenever I open this palette. 1, it smells like heaven, and 2, the names are so cool, and 3, the colors are so freaking pigmented. It's just a really awesome palette. I would love to do some more makeup tutorials with this one because it is really good. The next question is least used palette. Please bear in mind that the reason why I haven't used this one is not really because I don't like it, because I really do, and it was such a huge dream of mine to actually get this palette. So I think it's because I really feel very touchy about the palette that I haven't really used it. But it is the one called Narsissist from NARS. And I think this was a limited edition palette, and I remember it was sold out everywhere. I was just so happy when I found it because I was like, I'd been searching all over for it, you know, like online. It was just sold out every single where. And when I found it, I was just so happy. But honestly, it is as good as new. I haven't used it even once. That is bad. That is really bad. The colors in here are so pretty, very wearable, but you can also do some smoky eyes with it, and I just haven't used it. I'm crazy like that. I haven't used this palette. There's so many great colors and I just haven't used it. I feel so ashamed of myself, and I was like, when I thought about this question and when I had to find the palette, I was so embarrassed because I was like, why haven't I used it? It is an amazing palette. I feel really terrible about that, and I am definitely going to use it from now on. The next palette is my most used palette, and this was no hard pick for me at all. I knew exactly which palette I wanted to show you. Obviously my Urban Decay Naked Basics palette. Just look at that. I've hit pan totally on this color. There's nothing left, and I've also hit pan on this one. This is my most used like everyday eyeshadow palette. It is incredible. You get like 5 mattes and then 1 shimmer that can be used in the inner tail duct area just to highlight a bit. It is incredible. I love it for everyday use, and I seriously need to get a new one because I'm totally out of that color. I can't get any more out of it, and it's just an amazing little travel-friendly palette as well. I've got the Naked Basics palette number 2, and I'm not really that into that one. This is definitely my favorite because it's much more warm-toned, and I just really like that. So I need a new one. Next question is my most loved palette, and once again, a really tough question, and I've actually got 2 to show you because I can't really pick. The first palette is my Urban Decay Naked Original palette because I love the colors in here. I think they are amazing. They're so versatile, and whenever I want a really beautiful like night out look, I always grab for this one because I think it's incredible. I think there's so many great wearable colors in this one, but you can also really smoke it up or smoke it down, you know, like you can just do so many different looks with it. There's so many who hate like the packaging of this palette, but I think it's so cool. It's different, and I know that it can get really dirty and really destroyed in no time because it's like this felt packaging, but as you can see, I've had mine in 3 years now, something like that, and it is totally like new. I've just been really careful with it whenever I've used it and made sure that I've stored it in the right way and just been taking really good care of it. So if you just take good care of your palettes, no matter how they're packaged, they can look as good as new. The other palette is my Urban Decay. As you can hear, I love Urban Decay palettes, and this is the one called Vice 2 palette. I love this one because the colors are incredible. I can't even tell you how much I love them. Just look at that. There's so many cool colors, and I just love it. I grab it whenever I want to do a really fierce eyeshadow look, and honestly, the colors make me so happy. I just love so many of the colors. Can't say enough good words about it. Love, love, love. And also the packaging, I can't even tell you how much I love it. And the last question is Desert Island palette, and that is obviously which palette I would take with me if I go to a desert island somewhere. Not really sure that I'm going to do that, but the palette that I've shown is actually not an eyeshadow palette, so I don't know if this is cheating, but you can still use it as an eyeshadow palette if you feel like it. I've chosen my Anastasia contour kit because you can use this for your face, to bronze, to highlight, for your eyeshadows as well. This is just an all-in-one palette in my mind. Seriously, you can even use it, because I'm that fair, to kind of like cover up any small spots and so on. And I think if I go to a desert island, I just want a palette that can do it all really, and this is definitely the one. The only bad thing is that it hasn't got a mirror, so I obviously had to like bring a mirror with me, but else I think it's incredible. I love it so, so, so much. And that was all of the questions in the perfect palette tag, and I really hope that you enjoyed it. I really enjoyed it. I thought it was such a cool and fun tag to do. And if you haven't done this tag already, and if you're a YouTuber out there, I tag you to do it because this is a really cool tag. I am a palette-holic. I love all of my palettes so, so much, even the ones that I haven't used that much. So yeah, if you found this video enjoyable, give it a huge thumbs up. That would mean so much to me. It helps me out so much on YouTube. Also, subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. That would make me so happy. Until next time, I just hope that you'll have an amazing day and that you are doing really well, and I'll talk to you very soon. Bye! Last but for sure not least, I've got my absolute favorite shimmer break to show you, and obviously